Hey Fashionpreneurs, my name is Jess and welcome to the Fashionpreneur Diaries. Alrighty everybody, welcome to entry 24 of the Fashionpreneur Diaries. I am so excited about today's entry. It's going to be kind of quick, but we're going to get into a lot of stuff, so I'm really excited. Today's entry is called A Must for All Creatives. So I had a kind of a secondary name for this entry. I was going to call it Singers Make the Best Fashion Designers. And I was saying that because my mindset was, hey, a lot of creatives that come to me, they tell me that like, Jess, I'm feeling uninspired. You know, I'm not feeling really excited about launching this brand. I'm confused. I'm in quarantine. I can't get inspired. How are you staying on pace and how are you staying on track, right? So I wanted to do this entry to let you guys know how creatives work. A creative is a creative, okay? Yes, we're all in different industries. I have a very close friend of mine that actually helps me out with the podcast production. His name is Will and he's a singer. And we always talk about creativity and feeling inspired and being inspired, right? And when we talk about these things, we always talk about how we can do that through quarantine and through pandemics and through challenges in life. And I was explaining to him recently, like, yo, there's nothing different about this pandemic than any other challenge in life. It's just another challenge. It's just that we're all in it together. So for the first time, everybody's feeling it at once, right? And that could be super scary for a lot of people. But what I want you guys to understand is, as a creative, there are opportunities for you to still stay inspired within this pandemic, and I want you guys to stay super, super, super inspired. So I know I'm looking every which way right now. I just want to remind you guys I'm on a live, and then I'm recording on my other phone here. So disregard me looking every which way. We getting it done though, okay? In quarantine, staying creative. All right, so let's talk about a few different things, guys. I want you to understand the importance of staying creative and inspired within this time frame right now. I want you guys to understand a few different things that I do to stay inspired and some of the things that have inspired me overall as a creative. So if you're in the fashion industry, you're a creative. Even if you are a stylist, if you are a buyer, if you're a designer, obviously we're all creating looks, we're creating styles, we're creating just different products, right, for our clients to purchase. And even if you're listening to this and you're not in the fashion industry, if you are in the beauty industry and you are a makeup artist, you're a creative, right? And we have to stay inspired, and it's imperative that we stay on top of our niche markets and we stay on top of what's happening within our industries. But being too consumed in the fashion business overall, I'm very business oriented. If you know me, if you've worked with me, if you work within the Fashionpreneur Academy coaching program, you know everything about it is a business coaching program. It just pertains to fashion. So with me being such a business oriented person, I can sometimes lose insight of staying inspired as a creative. And I'll tell you guys a quick story. When I remember in 2011, when my dad passed, I immediately became uninspired. And my father, that was my dog, right? We were super cool, but we weren't, the relationship wasn't as great as I would have loved it to be, right? And I remember when he passed away, it was very unexpected. He had a heart attack, literally was gone. So when he passed away, I remember feeling super uninspired. And I remember someone who was in my life, one of my close friends at the time, had came to me and told me like, yo, I know that you haven't been sewing, you haven't been designing, you haven't been creating. What's up? What are you doing? And I was like, I'm just not inspired. I don't feel it. I don't want to do it. I don't feel the inspiration to do it. And I remember getting back in my little sewing room in my second bedroom of my apartment in Baltimore, and I became a workhorse. I just started sewing and sewing and sewing and sewing and going to get more fabric and sewing and sewing and sewing. And eventually I created some beautiful pieces, and I worked through the pain. I worked through all of the challenges that I was facing. And I remember having a dream about my dad right after that. And it just confirmed everything. I had this dream that I was at my 9-to-5, which I was working at the time. And my dad literally was next door at the grand opening to a boutique that was my boutique. And I realized that. And I felt like that was all the clarity and insight that I needed. And God gave me all of that confirmation and told me like, yo, go for it. And my dad sat me down in that dream and was like, I can't believe you're not going for your dreams. I can't believe you're not going after your aspirations. I got you, and walked away, and he wouldn't talk to me in the dream. And he said a lot of other things that my father would definitely say. So it was definitely confirmation. And I remember since that day feeling so inspired and so creative. But I hit a second bump in my creative, I would say, growth when I launched the Fashionpreneur Academy. So the Fashionpreneur Academy launched April 2016. I was 4 months, it had been 4 months since I had been an entrepreneur. And I remember people asking me like, yo, how do you do this? How do I launch a brand? And it was so second nature to me because I had already had 10 years experience. And I didn't realize at only 24 years old, I was so knowledgeable. Like someone who was my business coach at the time had to sit down and tell me like, yo, Jess, you have so much to give people and you're a teacher. You naturally give. And I'm like, I don't know about starting a curriculum. Well, I did it. And when I launched the curriculum, it was like this whole 12-month coaching program. It was so rigorous, and it still is. And I remember the rate was not cheap. It was a year of coaching. We would meet up in person every quarter. It was crazy how much work went into it. And I became uninspired with my brand and regular exposure because I was pouring into everyone else's. And I was very happy helping my clients and assisting them. But I realized that my brand had taken a big decrease. My brand, I remember the first year of me launching the academy, my brand had grossed only like $38,000 for the year. And that might sound like a lot as a new entrepreneur, but that was not where I needed to be. And I could have been so much further, but I was so invested in other people that I wasn't investing in myself. So I had to learn balance. And when I lost balance, I lost creative insight, right? And I realized very quickly, I have to shift my business model within the Fashionpreneur Academy. And I have to shift the way that I assist people because I'm overexerting myself. I've realized that my clients were getting results in 6 months. So I had to turn my clients into students and allow them to be self-sufficient and do the work themselves. So I still have this same amazing curriculum, just so updated. It's so amazing. It has Facebook ad coaching, digital ad coaching. It has classes with my accountant, classes with Abu, my Facebook guide and teacher and mentor. It has classes with my lawyer. Like the curriculum is insane. And this curriculum used to be $17,000. And I remember telling my coach, like, yo, I don't have the time anymore to do this in the way that I want to. Or I don't have the time to do it in the format that I want. And I'm not happy doing just this. I want to get back to what makes me happy and create collections, right? So I realized, and my program was $17,000. And that might sound like a whole lot of money, but if I could tell y'all what I paid, 1 year in college was $40,000 for me. So it was a huge discount, and I was giving all of myself. Like that 17K came with literally like me, like here I am, right? And I realized like, yo, it's not about the money. I have to decrease this. So the program is now, I took it down to $2,000. And then I was like, yo, I have to make this a course that is self-sufficient for $9.99. And my coach thought I was insane when I told her this at the beginning of this year. Like I'm gonna make my program $1,000. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah. She was like, so you're going to teach Facebook ads, which costs you over $5,000 to learn. You're going to teach about accounting, which you pay for monthly. You're going to give all that away. So yeah, that's what it is, right? When I tell you guys the results that my clients are getting now that I made that choice is completely different. They were already getting amazing results, but the testimonials are out the roof because more people can now take advantage of the opportunity, right? And I had to be okay with it not being about a financial gain. It never has been, obviously, but now it's like, yo, it's literally at the lowest price. Like the stuff that you get in this curriculum is crazy. And I had to do that so I can get back to my inspiration and back to creating. So I was able to now work back in a regular exposure. There was a time where I wasn't even working in my brand because I wasn't inspired. I was so focused on the academy. So I had to build balance within all these different businesses I had. I decided to launch a factory. I did all these different businesses and I became very lacking of creativity. So I want you guys to understand it's normal. Okay, when you get really caught up in developing your businesses and when you get caught up in launching, it's very, very easy to get stuck at this as being the CEO. And I need you guys to understand that there is an opportunity for you to expand as a creative still. Hey fashionpreneurs, I hope you are enjoying this entry of the Fashionpreneur Diaries, but I wanted to personally invite you to my brand new masterclass, Wholesale Vendors Decoded. I'm going to teach you how to launch and develop your fashion line, no matter if you're looking to purchase wholesale or become a brand new fashion designer. We're going to cover it all, and it is very quarantine friendly, on a budget. I know things got super real, super quick this year, so I want to help you understand how to effectively launch this brand on a budget while in quarantine. It's still very possible, and I'm still seeing 6 figures a month, and I want to help you do the same. All right, so make sure that you register now at thefashionpreneuracademy.com. So first thing you need to do is check your balance. Do you have balance to even be creative? Do you have space in your life to be creative, right? And I think it's imperative that you build space within your life and make space for you to even feel creativity and live your life so that you can have a vision to even create from. So the best artists write in pain. I remember when Adele got a divorce recently, everybody was writing on social media like, oh, the next album gonna be fire, right? Like, think about the pain. Like, let's go back to Usher Confessions. Do y'all remember how y'all felt when y'all first heard that? The pain. Like, what? And who knows if that story was made up or not now that we look back and we older, right? But the point is, when I tell you guys, if you plant a seed, it will grow. It will grow. And the thing about us as people, guys, we are so amazing. We're so creative, but we sometimes get so hyped up on being a creative that we rush things as well. So sometimes we even produce pieces and put out lines and collections prematurely because we just want the money in it. So we have to learn how to balance our business ethic with our creativity. So there's this video. I was trying to find it for you guys. I cannot find it on social media, but you guys can Google it. I remember the first time I fell in love with creativity, and it was a video of Kanye West. It was from the early 2000s, and Kanye was doing an interview with MTV. I'm not sure who it was with, but it was with MTV, but I'm not sure who hosted it. And I remember in the video, the interviewer asked him, how do you create? We all know, we can all feel however we want about Kanye, but Ye is a legend. He's an icon. He is my creative inspiration. He showed me that I could do this, literally, okay? So let me tell you guys, there was this video where he showed his art off. Like, he also draws and paints very well. And he was showcasing some of his artwork. And he showed this one particular piece, and he said, this is music. This is how I see music. And it was this piece that had so much color in it. And it was like this, it looked like a stereo going in and out, And he explained the beat. Like, literally, he explained how he was seeing, he envisioned the beat. He was like literally like going over. And I was like, yo, like, do you know how genius this is? Do you know how blessed you are to have this gift? And I remember feeling so inspired. And when I tell you I watched that video over and over and over, I cannot find it, but you have to Google it, try to find it on YouTube. I can't find it on YouTube. But that video created my creative, right? And I need you guys to figure that out for yourself. So you all have to understand the music industry is very similar to fashion when it comes to creativity, right? So a lot of times in music, you have to write, right? And you're gonna write, and you're gonna write, and you're gonna write songs, and writers write all day and night. Like I said, my close friend that's in the music industry, he's written amazing songs, jingles for all types of artists that we all know of, and he just writes and writes and writes and writes and writes. He could have like a library of hundreds of songs, but he might only put out 5 or 12 on an EP. You have to build your catalog of creativity. So whenever you do feel creative, especially during these times while in quarantine, just get it out. So if you are sketching and you have an idea and a concept to create a collection, then sketch the bag, sketch the shirt, sketch the top. Just get it out your head while you're in that creative flow. I was feeling uninspired for a moment, and I remember I had to get back into my mindset. I prayed over it, I journaled, and what I did during quarantine, I love music. I always equate fashion to music, right? I love music. I love 90s, old school, early 2000s. If you watch my Insta stories, I'm always in the car bumping to Jay-Z, In My Lifetime, Blueprint. That's just who I am, right? And I get very inspired by this music. I get very inspired by our culture. I get very inspired by our war stories and how we've made it and accomplished so many things through it. So what I've been doing is I take long car rides right now in quarantine. I drive for hours and I listen to like Missy's Super Duper Fly. I listen to Jay-Z Blueprint. I listen to Jeezy Recession, which is so prominent right now again, right? It's like I go and listen to my favorite albums and I just literally imagine what my commercial would look like to it, or what type of clothing I would wear if I could equate it to this song. Like I think about if I was making a new music video to the song, basically. And when I tell you I just created my next top seller doing this, I just created my next top seller listening to Missy's Super Duper Fly. I just created my next top seller, okay? So I need y'all to consider this, and I want you guys to understand it's normal not to be inspired, but I want you guys to understand that like most billionaires are also in the music industry. Like Rihanna, she's in the music industry, obviously. Drake, I need y'all to definitely watch Drake's interview. I think it was, I don't know who did the interview, but they were at his house when he first moved in. Like people that are killing it, y'all, the billionaires in the music industry, they also have leading fashion brands. Kanye is a billionaire now. They're doing something right? They're thinking with a business mogul mindset, and they're owning every aspect of their business as a creative. And everybody I just mentioned are legends, iconic, like bow down in this industry. Rihanna, like drops mic. Like, come on now. So this is the mindset and the zone you got to get in. So like really start envisioning how you can get inspired. For me, that's music. And right now we can't do a lot of things to let our creative juices flow, right? We can't do a whole bunch of stuff right now. So we got to take advantage of what we have the opportunity to do and what we have the opportunity to really just take hold of right now. But I thank God. I was talking to my best friend earlier. We were literally thanking God because of this quarantine. Like at first I was so scared. Like, I don't know what this quarantine is going to mean, you know, for my businesses. And when I tell y'all this month, I did my numbers earlier. This month alone, I grossed $97,000 from my couch. From my couch, being a creative in quarantine that just didn't stop. And it's not, we only at the 21st. I'm gonna make like $130,000 this month from sitting on my couch, being creative and being unapologetic about it. So if you focus all of your energy on that creative, do you understand what will come out of that? Like if you focus all your time to creating the best products, and when you guys are creating your products, let's not go cookie cutter. You have to create a fantasy. I tell my clients all the time, create a fantasy. We are creating fantasies when we sell product, right? So I need y'all to get super inspired. Go turn on that. Go turn on Jay-Z when he had just finished selling drugs and just got signed. Like I got to put myself in that mind. I got to put myself into the mindset of like literally Jay-Z drug dealer. Jeezy straight out the trap. Thug Motivation 101. That's the mindset I put myself in. And I think, what would a trapper do? Literally. And I create collections that showcase my story. I come from those same environments. I come from those same places. I come from those same people. That's just who I am. So I'm here to show you that as a girl from Baltimore City, Alameda, East Side, to be seeing these type of revenue streams, it's insane. Y'all, like everybody that is successful, every Black person I look up to within the fashion industry is equated to music. So I want you guys to consider it when it comes to your inspiration. I want y'all to take this challenge. I want y'all to drive around by yourself, no influences. I want y'all to listen to your favorite album. For me, I gotta get in my dope dealer mentality. Sometimes it might be Lucky Day. I got to get into my groove, my jazz, my slow rhythm. Sometimes it's Maxwell when I know I need to create a dress and I got to give a vibe to my mature ladies that are giving energy. It depends. But I want you guys to understand your favorite singers that are killing it in the music industry are also billionaires, right? So I need to give you guys a playlist. I could totally do it. I have a couple playlists that I would love to share. I got one that's called In My Soul Feed. And In My Soul Feed is like my playlist, just like all my vibes, like all these up and coming artists that are just grinding from the bottom. Nobody knows their stories, but they just create art and their voices sound like war, right? And then I got my In My Bag in my bag track tape, right? And that's the one with my Jay-Z, my Jeezy, my Lil Boosie, my Lil Louisiana, my literally the Carter 2, like Hot Boys, like that's that one. And I got my Missy and everything else. So I just need to get inspired based off what I want to make. So what I do is I think, what collection do I want to make? What am I creating for? This is a spring summer collection. If you're a buyer, are you buying for fall, winter right now? What collection are you buying for? And I want you guys to use music to inspire yourself right now while in quarantine. And when we get out of this quarantine, I want y'all to figure out what works for you. It might not be music. For you, it might be going to the museum. It might be taking advantage of art shows. It might be going to the movies. It might just simply be sitting in a park and just drawing. It might be so many different things. And you don't have to know how to draw to be a creative. You don't have to know how to do anything. I literally every night listen to music to get inspired every morning. This is why on my Insta stories on my page, a regular _ Jess on my page, I literally post every day on my Insta story a song I'm listening to. Every day I turn on something in my car and I let y'all see what I'm listening to. I start my morning with my good old gospel, and then I just keep going and getting inspired. So I want you guys to put yourself in the mindset of these billionaires that are inspired, because the words are there. If you're listening to the right conversations, they're there. I listen to amazing artists, and I love Jeezy so much because he's so intellectually smart. Like, this man is amazing. And when he made this album, Recession, it was for me, okay? We're in a recession again. I need to hear that to get inspired. Like, I need to hear this type of music. So I want you guys to figure out your inspiration. I listen to everything. I got an old school playlist, y'all, that has like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers, like just stay inspired. So for me, it's music, and I want to challenge you guys to do that within this season to continue to stay inspired. Understand that art is art. It doesn't matter if you're in the music industry, fashion. It doesn't matter what you're creating. If you're an actual painter and an artist, it doesn't matter. Art is art, and we're all artists, and we should be connecting with each other and building and inspiring each other right now. This is a great time for you guys to be alone and just create and let your egos go. Like, don't be scared to get feedback from people. Don't be scared to ask people, what do you think about this and what don't you think about it? Don't be scared to ask qualified contenders. But I like to get inspired by myself, and I like to bring in my qualified contenders who are my close friends and say, hey, what do you think about this collection? What do you think about this piece? I go to my best friend every time I design something, and I ask her, like, oh, what do you think about this? Do you think this is dope? This is what I was thinking when I created this. And we decide if it's a top seller off of that. Now, my best friend is also the brand manager for Regular Exposure, my clothing line. So she does a lot of the marketing decision making. So I make a lot of decisions still with my business mindset, but I just create. Let go and create. Don't pay attention to seasons. Don't pay attention to the fashion calendar. Who cares? We're in a pandemic. Does it really matter? Does it matter if you drop in September or October? Does it matter if you drop the fur in January or February? Who cares? We're in a pandemic. Let things go. Don't take yourself so serious while you're creating. Don't take your project so serious. Just create. Tell a story. The best art is a storyline. So just let go. Don't take it so serious, and don't overthink it. Just put the product out. Somebody gonna like it. And if they don't, they don't. But you got to give it time to see what people think, guys. You got to give it time. So I hope that you guys stay inspired within this season. I hope that you guys create. And I hope that you guys understand, I know exactly where you are. We're in a pandemic. I'm here with you. There was a time about a month and a half ago, I felt like I wasn't even hearing from God the same because of this pandemic. I'm stuck in the house. But I kept thinking, my mindset was, oh, when this is over, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When the pandemic is over, when COVID-19 is done, I'm going to open up this. I'm going to go get that new building that I've been working on. I'm going to go do all these things. When I changed my mindset from I'm going to do all this when it's done to I'm going to learn how to operate in it, that's when I saw my month that I saw this month. March was a $150,000 month for me. April, I took a major decrease, major hit. Welcome to the life of entrepreneurship. Who cares? We're still doing great. Thank God. Everybody's still employed. It was still a great month, but it wasn't 150K. Here we are again about to hit that 150K mark, if not higher, based off of a sale we're having right now. But that didn't happen. See, last month my mindset was I gotta wait. Now the mindset is let's work in it. Let's operate in it. Let's stay in it. Let's be happy in it. So now I'm actually preferring of this time right now. Like, I get to spend more time with my clients. I have a Q&A right after this. I get to spend more time with my family on FaceTime. I get to do whatever is necessary for my self-care. I get to now do this. I have this wellness hour I do in the morning that's helping me be creative too. So I do this wellness hour where every morning it's like wellness hour. I'm doing it this evening today. But me and my best friend, we work out for an hour. We have this 30-day challenge. I drink my herbs. I take care of myself. And that's how I start my day. So all of this goes into your creative juices, y'all. Like literally, if you're eating bad foods, it's going to affect your creativity. You're not going to be disciplined. If you're not working out, you're not disciplined, it's going to show. There is a lifestyle that comes with creativity and entrepreneurship. You won't see me sleep past 7 a.m. I might be laying down, but I'm not asleep. I've already checked emails. I've already kind of looked over my day. I've already planned out things. You're not ever going to see me slacking. Ever. Like, you will never see me sleep past a certain time. You will never. My self-care day is Sunday, and that's the day I might chill, but might stay in the bed till like 8. Like, there's a certain discipline to creativity, and you have to be able to get up and hear from God. You have to be able to understand him. So change your mindset from what you're going to do when quarantine is over to what you're going to do in it. Because when I tell y'all, when this is over, I'm going to be chilling. Because I already did everything in quarantine. So I'm going to be on vacation. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm working hard and I'm staying inspired and I'm staying creative. So I want you guys to just use this energy and feed off of it to stay inspired for yourselves. Remember the importance of including God in every single aspect of this, and pray over your creativity. Every day I pray for my creativity to just flourish. I pray for strategy. I pray for my next top seller. I pray for my story and any confusion, any doubt, and any pain I'm feeling to just be just kind of outspoken through a product that can help somebody. I pray that the creativity is for an expansion, not for just increased revenue. I do not, my clients know I do not pray for money. I pray for the overflow, okay? So I want y'all to figure out that thing, get inspired. My challenge is for y'all. I want y'all to tag me on Instagram, tag at irregular_Jess, tag at Fashionpreneur Academy on your Insta stories. Show me what music you're listening to. Show me what's keeping you inspired right now. But we got to take advantage of what we have. We still got to stay inside. And just remember to pray over your creativity and pray that your creativity connects with the right people. So if there's somebody that thought that today was their last day, they should be inspired by you. I have, oh my gosh, I have somebody that I remember was working with me and we did her review. Me and my manager did her review. I do reviews with my staff, and she told me, yo, a week before I got this job, I was considering risking it all. I was considering letting go. I was considering giving up on life, and you called me. That's what I do this for. It's not about just giving somebody a quick gig. Those are the moments you do this for. Like, I don't believe, y'all already know I always say it's no such thing as coincidence, is only confirmation. That's what I do this for. Like, it should be so, it's so much bigger than just creating. You're creating an outlet. Music is an outlet. I can tell y'all 5 albums I listened to during breakup Jess, during that lifetime, to single Jess. I can give y'all every playlist. When I tell y'all music tells my story. So it's the same thing. Apply that narrative to your fashion. If you know that you just got out of a divorce and you can help and inspire somebody that's going through a divorce, create the next collection of amazing dresses for when you get get back in your bag. When you get back single and you in your bag and you let go of that negativity. Create your next collection for that struggling student that's in school that is paying on her own and doesn't have that family support, and she's trying to be this doctor, she's trying to be this lawyer, and she just doesn't have the finances. Create a collection that's low cost for her. Think about your stories and share that through creativity. All right, guys? All right, so we got to wrap up. I'm super excited. This was so dope. I will be back soon with another entry next week, to be exact, but I hope you guys enjoyed this entry of the Fashionpreneur Diaries. We have created the culture, okay? We are literally the blueprint, right? So it's very imperative that we're held to a different standard as business owners, okay? Minorities are held to a different standard. So we have a responsibility